Here we go for another first impression BJJ episode. Today, I'm very fortunate to have somebody from US, like enjoying the podcast. And I'm gonna talk today with Scott. I met Scott throughout the internet. To be honest, I don't really know how he got, to talk with me, but we've been in contact and we finally got the time together to do the episode. So I want you to introduce a little bit of yourself, Scott.
All right, my name's Scott Boehler. I found you on Instagram, I guess, if you're wondering. I don't know how either, but just searching BJJ stuff on Instagram. Saw your podcast.
Awesome.
I'm 35 right now. I live in Tijuana, Mexico. I train in San Diego at Legion Jiu-Jitsu and also at 10th Planet. I got my black belt in 2017 under John Crouch at the MMA lab. He's in Phoenix, Arizona.
Amazing.
I got 14 years in jiu-jitsu now. I did a little bit of pro MMA. I still like to compete.
Awesome. How you did pro MMA?
Yeah, I did 3 fights.
Awesome.
So that counts.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. 100%. 100% it counts, man. Yeah, I have never done any. Oh, I just realized something. My belt's missing here.
Your black belt?
Yeah, my black belt. I took out to train.
Yeah.
Because I didn't find the other one. I was like, okay, I have another one. Let's go. And then I forgot to put it back. There we go. It's okay. Don't worry.
I have a few black belts too. Like I keep them like in my car.
You gotta do it. Like, if training happen, you gotta have one ready to go, right?
Yeah, and I always forget one. So
I know exactly. But anyway, so yeah, man, like 3 MMA pro fight, it's a lot, 100% it's a lot. People that don't train don't know what's going on and what's up. Once you step in the cage there, I'm sure it's something really different from just training.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But so you've been doing jiu-jitsu for 14 years. I remember when we spoke a little bit on email, you said that you've been around in like many countries and many gyms too, right?
Yeah.
Can you talk about a little bit about it?
Yeah. So just recently I did number 146, and that was 10th Planet headquarters in LA. So I just always like to travel in my life, and I decided to go to visit gyms as I traveled. And I think, I don't know, maybe after like 15 or 20, I decided like I should keep track, just write it down on a piece of paper. And yeah, so I just kept keeping track, and then I got to a point where I wanted to travel some more around the US.
Okay.
So I bought a van, like an old work van, and I built like a little bed in it, and I just threw my gis in there. And I had a lot of money saved up, and I just drove like a big loop around the United States for 9 months.
Wow.
I went to Toronto. And yeah, I think I hit like 86 more gyms in that trip, and then more since after
9 months. 9 months,
trip.
86 gyms.
I think, yeah, in that 9 months, I think I did 86. Yeah.
How many days you stayed in like, not in the gym, but in the city, like
In the city?
Yeah.
It depends. Like the smaller cities, like 2 days. I always try to do like 1 or 2 classes at each gym. But a couple of cities I was there for like 2 weeks. Like I did almost 3 weeks in New York. I think I was in Toronto for 2 weeks, Detroit for a couple of weeks. Yeah, the bigger cities where there was more gyms and like more stuff to do, I would stay for a while, and I made the trip so that, I didn't have a schedule. I just go.
Yeah. You just, but then you didn't have a schedule, but did you in the map, like you were like thinking, okay, should I go here, or you just decide as you go? How was it?
So I decided I grew up in Montana, which is like small mountain state, in the north by Canada, by Alberta, I think.
Alberta? Okay.
And I was training there at like a really small school, and I was a brown belt, and I actually was operating the school with a friend of mine, and I just decided like I need to see what else is out there. I always wondered what it was like to train at the really big famous schools. So I left the gym in his hands. He still runs it to this day. And my only goal, I said, I'm going to go to New York City. Like eventually I'll get to New York City. I didn't know how I was going to get there, what route I was going to take. But that was the only goal.
The first goal. That was the goal at the beginning.
Yeah, I was like, I'll go to New York and then we'll see if I even make it. And then I did. And then I just went, you know, the next goal after New York was I wanted to go to Miami. And then after that, I truly had no plans.
Just awesome. That's pretty good. How long did you take to get to New York? In the first,
so I left
on the way to New York, you just were stopping, right? You stopping here, stopping there, training here. Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it took me probably June, July, August, like probably 3 or 4 months, I think, to get there.
4 months, okay.
Yeah.
How many kilometers do you know?
5,000.
5,000.
I don't know. That's a guess. That's a total guess. But like somewhere.
I get it. It's okay.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know kilometers. But
it was like 3 months, you said 3-4 months?
Yeah, to get to New York. Yeah.
Awesome. So you all the way stopping training and then of course making, you know, like a couple friends, right? Like talking to people, sleeping around. How was it? Like I was sleeping on the van every single day, you know. How was it? How was the trip? You know, some hard days for sure. There was some hard days.
Yeah. Honestly, the sleeping was good. And I don't know why, but like I got really, really good sleep. I think maybe because I could just because I never had to wake up. I would just wake up whenever I wanted and go to sleep when I wanted. But I still say this. I tell my girlfriend now, I say like that's the best sleep I ever got was on like a terrible bed and mattress I built myself in the van, like sometimes parked like on the side of the road or something. But like maybe just because I was having fun, but I was sleeping so good.
No,
and it was really comfortable. And people would always offer like, hey, you don't have to stay in the van tonight. You know, you can stay at our house or you stay in the gym. And I always just like politely declined because it was so nice.
It was so good. And to wake up whatever hour you know, the time you want and do stuff. No, I'm sure it is.
Oh, it felt great. Yeah. But the hard days, I mean, there was hard days too. Like I thought my van was gonna die one day. So I had to get a repair. Like right when I got into Canada, I started acting real bad. But luckily I got it fixed. It wasn't major. I only got one like infection while I was traveling, you know, all the gyms.
Yeah.
But right before Detroit, I got like an infection in my eye. It was the worst. Like, do you remember in the last ADCC or the one before where everybody had the infections in their eyes?
Yes, like the way was really red.
Yeah, that big story and all the like Keenan was out and some other guys couldn't compete. It was the adenovirus. And it's every bit as bad as people say. It was horrible. Worst feeling.
Oh, so it actually, what did you feel like? It was like bothering you? You couldn't keep eye? What was that?
It was like pink eye, like it itched a lot. You know, it just is really, really itchy all the time. And you know you can't touch your eyes. So like you're just kind of sitting there, like, you know, trying not to itch your face, and your eyes swell up, like they get really puffy. So like, yeah, it was just really uncomfortable. And they cry all the time.
All the time, yes, I worry like all the time. I saw.
Yeah.
How long did you stay with that?
Man, I think more than 2 weeks. And of course, man, like it's kind of dumb, but for like the first like 5 or 6 days, I just didn't do anything. I was like, well, I can't train, but like maybe it'll go away, you know. And it didn't. I know. And finally, I was like, I have to go. Like, I have to go to like a hospital because I don't even know what this is. And I went to a free hospital at a college in Detroit, and they just said, "Oh yeah, you got this eye infection," and they gave me some drops and like an antibiotic to take, and it went away. But I still I couldn't train for like another week. So I actually didn't get to train at any gyms in Detroit, but I just stayed in that city for like 15 days waiting for my eyes to get better.
Yeah, because like the first 5 days you didn't do anything, and another week during the treatment, right?
Yeah. It was the only real break from training. Like I can't believe I didn't have any injuries, but I just had that little 2-week break.
That's pretty good, actually. That's pretty good because so that was like 15 days in Detroit without training. So that was a part of the trip that you actually rested. Was the only time that, right?
Yep.
Rested, but you kind of sick, right?
Yeah, it was not comfortable. Like I tried to kind of enjoy myself in the city, but
Uh-huh.
I was walking around like with sunglasses and like, just it was bad. It was a
No,
bad time.
I'm sure. But so, and you came to Toronto, you said, right?
Yeah,
Do
I
you
did. I mean,
remember which gym you trained over here?
okay, it was Toronto BJJ.
Awesome. So
So blue and yellow gym. Yeah.
that's
And Brito was there and he
George
taught
Little,
like
yeah.
a few classes. Yeah. And there's another a big white guy. I can't remember his name. James something, I think. Um,
At the gym?
yeah, he had taught a couple classes. I can't remember his name. He was good. But that was really fun training. That was like one of the like hardest comp classes I ever did.
Also,
Um,
you probably trained either with Nathan or Michael Zaneski or that's the bigger ones that I can remember right now.
I think maybe the guy Nathan. What's Nathan's last name?
Nathan dos Santos.
I guess I can't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up, but
Amazing guy. Big dude, pretty good.
yeah,
Very good. Very good.
super hard training too. That was like some of the most intense training ever. Like,
Yeah, at Toronto
man,
BJJ, yeah, it's a pretty good training. Man, all my years training there was amazing, since blue belt all the way to black belt and like like I mentioned earlier to you, I moved to another city to try to build up my own gym and then create my own crew and stuff. Even though I really love training there, whenever I can be back there to train, it's like the best.
yeah,
All my training partners are there. All my training partners, the best guys that I can train with are there, and it's an amazing place, like for real. I think for sure you had a good training. I'm sure you had a good training.
yeah. I really
Yeah.
liked it.
Did you go to other gym here?
Yeah, I went to Open Mat,
Open mat, okay.
which is like Elliot Bayev, right?
Elliot, yes,
And
Elliot.
that guy Ostap. When I was
Ostap.
there, Ostap was doing a bunch of stuff on the internet, so like people
Yes, he
knew
was doing breakdowns and stuff. I remember. Oh man, so that's like I don't know, 4 years
4 or 5 years. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, something like that, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Open mat, yeah. Open mat's not even in the. I believe they moved from the place that you've been actually. They're
Oh
not
yeah,
down. Yes, they moved. Yes. Things downtown are kind of different, like cities growing, they make people go out. So money talks, right? And
it's expensive, I'm sure.
yes, so then they had to find a better place for them, I'm sure. Any other gym?
No, not in Toronto specifically, but that's one of my favorite cities I ever been to. That
Oh,
place is so cool. I
yeah.
bet it's expensive, but man, Toronto is great.
Toronto's pretty good. I like it too. I like it. But we gotta do what you gotta do, right? So then
Yeah.
moving forward, keep after Toronto, where did you go?
Um, Montreal. I went straight to
Montreal.
Montreal, I think, and I went to like 3 different Gracie Baja schools in Montreal because
Yes,
they have a bunch there.
yes, they have, yeah. With
Yeah, so I just went to all those, and then I think I went. Okay, I tried to go to Brazilian top team
Brazilian top team.
uh like
Fabio
twice.
Lima. Yeah.
Yeah, and both times the traffic was so bad downtown that I missed the class.
Oh,
And like I never missed any classes, but like the traffic was so bad that
yeah.
I actually like won when I thought I was gonna get there. It turned out to be like 40 minutes later, and I didn't want to go late, so I
Oh
missed
yeah,
out on that.
sure. They have a pretty good training there. Brazilian top team and the Gracie Barra in Montreal. I believe they're one of the best. And they're doing pretty good. There's I don't know if you met Bruno, right? From Gracie Barra, like the black belt.
Mm, yeah, I think so. I
And
think so.
yeah, so you didn't get to train on BTT, right?
No, I didn't make
Oh, yeah,
it.
no, they're
I
pretty
gave up
good.
after the second time. I was so mad. I was like, I'm leaving this
Forget
town.
about
I
it.
just drove away. Yeah.
So in how many gyms in the US you've been at? Like
Um. Well, I think I've been to like I did one in Thailand, one in Japan, like probably 6 or so in Canada, and a few in Europe. So I don't know. In America, probably like at least 120, 130.
130 plus the other one all around the world.
Yeah.
So you went Thailand, you say Thailand, Europe, Canada. What else?
hmm Japan. I went to Japan for 6 weeks with my kickboxer friend, and
Man,
he went to the kickboxing gym, and I went to the jiu-jitsu gym every day. Yeah, it was
Japan,
good.
it's one of my dreams to go to Japan and actually train and maybe do the Asian Open. Oh, man, how was it there?
It was really cool. I was a purple belt, and I just like looked on the internet for a gym, for an English speaking gym. You know, I wanted to like to go somewhere where I could like learn, and they were called Triforce at the time. It's Carpe Diem now. You know Carpe Diem
Carpe
in
Diem, yes.
Tokyo.
Yes.
Yeah, they're pretty popular, but they were still part of this thing Triforce, and they were like in a real fancy neighborhood.
In they
But
speak
they
English
were
there.
yeah, they had English instruction. That's kind of why I ended up there. I sent them an email, and they responded in English. Yeah, we can teach classes in English. We have a lot of international students. Like, please feel free to come by. And it was cool. It was really good.
That's pretty good. So you stayed there 3 weeks. So you got to train at the same gym hours, or also you went to two gyms, right?
No, just one.
Just
Well, I
one.
went to the I went and I kickboxed with my friend a little bit because I was like still kind of had fought. I don't know if I remember I fought when I got back or not, but I was still like doing a little bit of MMA, so I went and kickboxed a little bit. But I just really wanted to do jiu-jitsu, so eventually I stopped going to the kickboxing. I just went to jiu-jitsu every day.
So before the trip to Japan, were you already focused on doing the trip around, or was that just like because you like to travel, you're just like, okay, I'm going here, there, and then you're like, you know what, I'll do this.
Oh yeah, well I done a couple other smaller trips in America, not for jiu-jitsu, like just for travel. But then I kind of visited some gyms. But my friend, the kickboxer, I think he was going to college and he was learning Japanese, and he'd already been there. And he said, I'm gonna go back. You should go with me for a little while. And I figured it was like my one chance to go to Japan, like with somebody who knew the country
Yeah.
and could help me get around. And it turned out to be really easy, by the way. Like Japan's a very easy place to travel,
You
but
could have done it by yourself. It would be easy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I could have, yeah, but I was like, okay, this is my chance. Like I'm gonna do it. And so I went with him. And it was so fun.
You feel a little bit more comfortable, right? Like, okay, this is it. All right, let's go.
He definitely helped me too. Like I would have done so many like dumb things without him. Like he definitely helped me out. But
No, I get it. Yeah, Japan, it's a great country. I want to go there too. And like during that time, like going to, like you say, so you start traveling, I believe, very like in an early stage in jiu-jitsu, right?
yeah, the day like I decided I was gonna go to Europe with a girl that I was dating, and
Uh-huh.
I was leaving my gym, and I got my blue belt like the week before I left. You know, I told him, I said, hey, I'm gonna be gone for 6 months, and he said, all right, and he gave me my blue belt before I left.
Okay.
So
Then you already oh, awesome. That's nice. So then you start like, okay, I'm gonna travel. So okay, so the first one was you will you say you're just going there to you move out, or you just traveling to Europe with the girl for
that was just for recreation. Yeah,
oh,
like,
okay,
and I
okay.
knew I didn't bring a gi or anything because we were in backpacks, but
Uh,
I thought it would be cool if I went to a gym while I was here. I didn't know, you know, if that was allowed or what, but I ended up finally, I went to a couple gyms in Germany.
okay, I got it. So
Yeah.
but you were already like a BJJ guy, right? Like think I like it. I want to keep
Oh
training,
yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
know,
From day one, I was just obsessed. Like,
okay,
I think like
that's
twice a day since like the
awesome.
first day.
No,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Sometimes you people get to travel, but they doing stuff and they don't really focus on the BJJ side, right? Like they train, they like it, but they're not like, oh, I'm gonna travel, I'm gonna have fun, I'm not gonna train jiu-jitsu. Man, if I go
Mhm.
somewhere, if I travel somewhere, of course I'm gonna train. Like,
Same.
talking about
Same.
100%, anywhere that I go, I'm gonna be here for 1 week. I have to find a gym because I've got to make some training sometimes and relax too, because it's part of our own thing here, right?
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
make it. You have to make it. If not, it's like boom, 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 boom.
Get a
Keep
little
the stress
crazy.
out. Exactly. But what year did you start training?
2008. 2008.
2008. Do you remember like why you started?
Yeah. So okay, the girl that I went to Europe with, she was going to a college out by Seattle, and I didn't go to the college. Like, I was just a deadbeat. But I would sleep in her. Yeah, I was sleeping in her dorm room, and I would go like during the daytime, because I worked at night. I would go to the gym, like I play basketball and lift weights. And there was a guy, he was quite a bit older, like one of those longtime martial artists, you know, for his whole life. And he was always in there lifting, and he knew a lot about fitness and stuff. So he was like, you know, when you lift, you should do these things differently. Cause I was just in there like pumping iron, I had no idea. Yeah. And so he was helping me. And then for like a month, he kept saying like, you should come, like we do like some martial arts stuff. Like you should come to this room downstairs. Like, and after like 30 times, finally I said, okay, I'll go. And I went down there, and it was him. And this guy at the time, he was like, I want to say he was like 62 years old or something. And he had like a group of like guys, all like college, you know, like early 20s or something. And they rolled out these wrestling mats, and they just put on like boxing. Some had boxing gloves, some had MMA gloves. They just tore their shirts off, no mouth guards, and they just fight. It was a fight club. And it was really, really crazy, probably pretty dangerous, like not much learning, just ass whoopings. And I got in there and wrestled around. He, you know, this old man he like kicked my ass bad for like the first few months. And but then he would teach me a little bit. He knew a little bit about grappling, and you know, we would watch UFCs and talk about it. And I did that like every day for 3 months. Then one day,
every day.
Yeah, like every day. And I would make friends with the guys.
That means, sorry, that means you liked, right? The first day you went there, that means like, yeah, I think this is good.
Yeah, you know, I think part of it too is like I know for like the first week, I was like, I just got beat up by like an old man. Like that's so.
How old are you?
I was like,
how old are you, Scott, when you did that?
I was 21.
Oh yeah,
I was like a good kid. Like I was a good athlete in school, like strong. Like I was like, I'll kick this old man's ass, and he like, I couldn't do anything to him. And I think that's when I realized, like, man, like you don't really just know how to fight, and like there's a lot to be learned. And after a few months, he said, you know, you like this so much, you should consider, like, you should go to a school, like a jiu-jitsu school, and see what you think. And I just looked one up online, and I went, and that was it.
Awesome. So, but then, okay, so you went to your first class. How was your first class at the gym? What do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. I think most of it. It was like really intimidating. Because I went in, and it was like, I remember the music was super loud, and there was like good guys there, like MMA dudes, like professional fighters were in there, like sparring and fighting. I'd never been into like a martial arts school before that, and it was intimidating. But the guy that ran it, Robert, he was like he like appealed to me. He was kind of a hippie. He had like long hair, and he didn't seem like he was like a mean dude. He was really nice, and he's like, yeah, you know, we will get you started, and you know, we'll help you, like, not just like, let's see how tough you are. And I give him a lot of credit for like kind of making me feel comfortable, because I was nervous, and it was cool. And I remember the first day, I think I was just like probably laying under somebody, just like, you know, not doing anything effective, and I probably puked, you know, but probably because I remember like the first few days, like I remember when I first was there, like I could go for like 2 minutes. And I would do like 3 2-minute rounds in a day, and I was like so sore for days after. And it slowly built up. But I think my third week at that gym, I got like bad cauliflower ear. And then I was in, like, after that, I was like, I can't quit.
They told you, they welcome you, and then they say, okay, let's go put this guy there, and then training.
Yeah, it was with a pro, with a guy, a longtime MMA pro, Joey Gill. He was like a middleweight, and I don't know what we were doing, but he ended up like sitting on me, and like I think he like caught me with like his elbow on accident in my ear, but it just like blew up.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like, and they all said that too. They're like, well, you can't quit now. Like, if you can't have collar out,
you gotta
not be tough. So that was it.
Yeah, that's true. You cannot get a cauliflower as a white belt. In the beginning, imagine you get a cauliflower first day, boom, explode, and then say, hey, this is not for me. The rest of your life, people are gonna say, hey, do you do any martial arts? And no, that was my first day and the only one.
Yeah. Like I did one class and that's what happened. No, I had to be in. Yeah. I lost a tooth at that gym too. I don't know if you can see, but like I had one of my front teeth is broken.
Training.
Yeah. I got kneed. It was in jiu-jitsu. Somebody, my head was down and they kneed me in the top of the head and it like hit my chin off my chest and my tooth like
Bro.
flew out. Yeah. So like my face, I'm all like ugly from training. So like I'm committed, like I can't turn back.
Exactly. Jiu-jitsu puts you in a place that you're like, come on, man. Now I just gotta keep going, right?
I was like, I have to be a black belt. Like this is like destroyed my face. Like I have to be a black belt.
So when you the first day I'm sure was like very tiring and very like overwhelmed. Even though you're kind of training for 3 months with the guy, right? Or like with the old,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
How was your opinion when you actually did the first time only jiu-jitsu and then you're like, man, I think there is better or here. How was it? How you compare stuff?
Well, I went, so I mean, we were doing a little MMA at the college, but like, you know, we didn't really know what we were doing. And I went to the real gym, the jiu-jitsu gym, where they were doing MMA too. And in like 2 months, you know, I went there like every day for like 2 months. And when I went back to the college to train a little bit more, I was like better than a lot of the people that used to beat me. Like I all of a sudden was really good. And then I trained there more and I would always kind of go back, you know, once a week or something. And I could see it, like the older guy, like after a few months at the real gym, like I could like handle him, you know, like I was like tapping him out and it was cool. You know, he was such a great mentor. He's like, that's really cool. Like you're getting good. Like it seems like you picked a good gym. And like he even came and trained at the school a few times. And
that's awesome.
But I could feel it. Like I was went from like just being terrible to like being able to beat most of the people in there. And I knew I was like improving. So yeah.
So you were a white belt still, but at that point, right? But you just going to gym classes and getting better.
Yeah.
Awesome. But yeah, like the idea, I try to expose this type of experience because the more people see this, like what you went through, like somebody out of nowhere calling you to do some training, let's do a training, and then you go there and then they kind of know what they're doing, but then you're like, okay, I like it. After that, they said, oh no, you know what, you should go for a gym. And then from that experience, you went to a completely different one. That was jiu-jitsu only, right? And like nowadays, I don't know if you've been, or it's maybe hard for you to see this, but not the new gyms, but the new way that we attract people for jiu-jitsu, like, oh, you want to do a class, you're gonna come to the gym, you're gonna have a first class, maybe the first week you're gonna be having class with people that have the same experience as you.
Yeah.
10 years ago wasn't like that. 10 years ago, you went to the class, they throw you in class and it was like, try it,
Yep. Yeah.
Basically survive. Let's say that day was only rolling. I'm sure they would say, okay, you want to try it, put you in the room and say, okay, just this guy, like Kelvin, come here, Kelvin's a purple belt, train with this guy here, just first class. You think the difference, the experience that the people that use their thinking that jiu-jitsu is like that, still like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym and they're gonna beat my ass, and then people are frustrated and they don't go to the gym. I wanted to pass this experience that like nowadays things are very different, but even though you can go to the gym and have your own class and stuff, people that did the class anyways in any type of class, they still doing it. Doesn't matter how the class will be. If you really like it and you want to do it, you're going to stick around,
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, because you can go to a gym and the guy be really nice, give a really nice class, teach you the basics, for 1 week. And then you feel like, I don't think this is You know, the rolling, I believe is the real deal when you say, okay, now you're going to roll with this guy here. And then you shake hands and go. Do you remember how was like the feeling of the first roll?
Yeah, I think I remember just feeling like really like inept and immobile, being on my back underneath like side control, and not and interesting, like you said, I think they paired me with like a purple belt, and the guy just kind of held me down.
Yeah,
You know,
that's what
I
it
could
used to
feel like,
happen all the time.
yeah, he
All
didn't
the
even have
time.
to try. He was just like, just relax, you know, and I was like giving it everything I had, and like didn't escape at all. And I remember too, like being claustrophobic, like people would put you in like tight positions,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you would kind of panic in your mind and like tap out just from pressure,
Just for
or just
pressure.
from like feeling like you couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Um, which I don't know. I mean, I think that happens to everybody, but yeah, it just it's crazy how bad I was, and it's hard to imagine that I like stuck with it. I'm kind of surprised that I didn't quit.
Didn't quit. Okay. Yeah.
I wonder the same things, how, because you want people to stay when you like open a school. You want people to like jujitsu, and a lot of people say, "Oh, like it's just not for everybody." Some people, no matter what, won't do jujitsu.
Won't do
But
it.
I think like half the people who go to a gym for a week or so and quit would actually like jujitsu if one, they gave it more time, or if their first experience was a little better.
I
You
agree.
know, because like we said, like probably when you started too, like sometimes you get beat up kind of on your first couple days, and you got to think about how many people never came back from that. Um,
Well, yeah, the
but
first
also just
time you just get throwing the roll like in the room, it's tough. Like I had an experience like this too. My first experience in the gym, you know, I got put up with another guy. I actually had a little bit of jiu-jitsu because like back home, I used to train a little bit with my friends. You know, in Brazil, we used to surf, and then after surfing, my friends, many of my friends, they're black belt. You know, in Brazil, many of them, and
yeah,
they always like, oh, I told you, you should, you know, you should have like train because now they see me training, they see me like I got my black belt, you know, I'm doing like my own school. They're like, oh, I told you, you should have done that. But man, I never knew I would come to Canada, you know, like I never knew I would focus on jiu-jitsu. That was like, I'm talking about when I was like 15 years old, I'm 29, you know, like almost 15 years ago. I
yeah,
just I just want to surf. And then here and there I was training with my friends. And then my first class here, what kept me in Toronto, in Canada, man, was jiu-jitsu. My life completely changed after jiu-jitsu, you know, because I moved to Canada. Man, it was like February, 18th of February. I remember the day
oh,
I got here. It was like cold, very cold. I left Brazil, it just started Carnival. It was the second day of Carnival, party, 30 degrees, the whole day party. I enjoy one day of Carnival. The next day I came to Canada. The next day in
to the
Canada,
snow.
man, it was like minus 13. Minus 13. My life was like, my God, what is this? Jackets and jackets, you know, and cold. 6 months later, I was like already crying to come back. But
Yeah,
then jiu-jitsu, you know, like I start to do the classes and like it, get beat up and like it, and train and beat people. And then I start to learn a little bit more than the others. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you're just like, okay, like you said, I was learning. I went back to the place that I was training. I was like a lot better than the others. And the gym
yeah,
that I trained was like small gym, and they had just they didn't even have like competitors, you know. I was the first one. I was the one that started to do stuff, and people started to like me. But
oh,
everything that kept me in Canada was because of jiu-jitsu. And like you said, it's not everybody that's gonna like jiu-jitsu, it's not everybody that's gonna stick around, but when it really means something to you, it just completely changed your life, you know. And that's what jiu-jitsu did to
definitely.
me, you know.
So you think kind of like where you are now in your life has a lot to do with the fact that you started training.
100%. I cannot, man, if I say something against it, I'm just lying to myself, and I'm going totally in another way. Because if I didn't decide to take that first class there and say, you know what, I'm gonna try something, because man, Canada was cold, you know, really cold, really cold. and I didn't have friends. I didn't speak English at all. When I got there, the coach was a Brazilian guy. Right away, I was like, okay, nice, so I can talk here. I'm gonna learn, and then everything just started. And then moved to one gym to another. Met another Brazilian coach that made me, like start to think in jiu-jitsu as way of life. And then I end up with George Brito, that was the guy that really completely changed my, like, Kelvin, let's do this, let's do this. Oh, can you help me? And then everything started changing. And then I decided that's the way I want to, to live my life. I'm sure that you had this type of thing too, because do whatever you do, like for jiu-jitsu and whatever you did, it's somebody that really likes the art, it's not everybody that gonna, I'm sure there's a lot of guys with you that trains with you that they really like, but they don't have the willpower and the courage to do, like, go around, travel, get a van, sleep in a van, do things like that, just change completely your life to keep going in a path that like, you don't know what you're gonna do, because you said I had no like schedule, but jiu-jitsu was the thing that was like driving you, right? I believe.
Exactly. Yeah. I had the same experience. Like, I guess I don't know what my life would have turned out to be otherwise, but I made the decision when I was at that first school. I decided I was going to go to a different school. I was already like building my life around my jiu-jitsu training, as a blue belt. I didn't think I was going to, I'm going to be a world champion or anything, but I just knew I wanted to do it. And I just thought I could live anywhere. So why not go to a great jiu-jitsu school, So that was kind of my plan. It ended up going differently, but yeah, I'm where I am now. My life is the way it is, all because of jiu-jitsu,
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't regret. I'm sure you don't regret it too, because
no, I can't.
It's still driving us, we don't know what's next, man. And so right now you're training at Legion, right?
Yeah, I go Legion and 10th Planet, like 50-50.
50-50. How is it at Legion?
Legion's cool, man. It's really big.
Huge place, right? Huge place.
Huge. Yeah, it's a like huge mat space. Really nice. Good part of town. The COVID was hard though for them, for everyone. But the gym before COVID was like a lot of people. It was really, there was like a lot of press, and recognition for the gym, like people.
Exactly.
Yeah, doing interviews of Keenan, and he was competing, and it seemed like the gym was getting really popular, but then COVID like stopped all of his momentum in his tracks. Like, I think it was hard too. San Diego is a like really expensive place to live, like Toronto.
Oh yeah.
And like I think he's lucky to be so good at business and have his internet online type stuff. I think it kept his gym open. Yeah, because a lot of gyms closed, but it's coming back. It's now the restrictions here are slowly coming back. It's not wide open, but the gym, it looks like the gym survived, and it's the classes are getting bigger again. So
that's good to hear. It's not the bigger guys got hit too, because I feel bad for the smaller ones, that couldn't survive. Man, I did my best to keep my gym alive. Trust me, like since March last year, things are really hard. And luckily we got a really good small group of people that really likes the gym, really likes us, and kept like helping us throughout these really hard times. And that's why we made it. I'm really happy,
nice.
And I'm sure like guys like Keenan, for sure they got hit too. It's really hard to see you put like investment and time on something that really want, and somehow you just see like empty the place. And that, man, I never been there, but every video, everything that I see from Legion, it's like, man, it's huge. It's like an open space with a lot of mats. And
he's making more too.
Sorry?
He's getting, for some reason, like we have a ton of mat space, but he was saying the other day, he's like, I want more. I'm going to get more mats. So just wait, like it's going to be even bigger.
Can you imagine? And you see this place empty. It's like very sad. I'm sure things getting back and seeing people back there, it's gonna really, pump it up and everybody gets happy too, you know, everybody gets different feelings to go there and see the mats full of people ready for training. It's different. And
Yeah.
what about 10th Planet? Like how's the training there? You do, it's only no gi there, or they do gi? How is it?
It's just no gi, just
No
only
gi,
no
right?
gi at 10th Planet. And when I first came to San Diego, Legion wasn't open yet. Like it didn't open for like 2 months when I first got here. So I went to 10th Planet, so interested, you know, never trained there or anything. And it was just really cool. Like from the first time, the guy Richie Martinez is the head coach there.
Okay.
And
Nice.
Boogeyman, yeah. And he was super cool, like nicest guy ever. And all the guys there were cool. Like the vibe was really, really good. Like they have a really, really, really good atmosphere there. And yeah, and the training was tough, like tons of like tough guys rolling hard. And it was just really nice. And then when Legion opened, I worked there. I was like the janitor, and I taught a couple classes and stuff at night while I was there, and then COVID. But when things started to open, I decided to go back to 10th Planet as well. Not anything against Legion, but I just liked it so much. And I was getting the stimulus money, you know, my stimulus check. And I thought, well, shoot, I might as well get another gym membership. So I started paying, and I just like it. Like I couldn't imagine not going to 10th Planet now. Like it's really, really good. People, good training.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, man. And so the gyms are not fully open. How is it working there now?
I don't know the exact restrictions or rules. I think we have to train in masks. I don't know.
I get it.
I'm not sure. I know there's heat. There's checks, like check our temps. You guys, it's worse in Canada. I hear it's like really strict.
Man, it's like basically Cambridge BJJ, my gym, we basically are back for the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Maximum 10 persons in the gym, not on the mats, in the gym, 10 persons. So me, my partner, and 8 students. So we use my mat space. I used to be full with 16 students.
Yeah.
Now I'm down to 8, you know. We gotta have like this schedule. We gotta have like a schedule system, so people got a schedule. You know, we have to measure temperature. We have to put them in the space of the thing. We have dummies, and we're doing solo drill classes. That's the most we can do. That's the best we can do now, and that's what we're doing to keep the gym. You know, because things are not looking very good in Toronto. Because Toronto is now another region. I'm living in Cambridge. That's like Waterloo region, and then there's GTA, the Grand Toronto, you know. So in Toronto, they still on lockdown. March 9, they might move forward. So there are these things, stay at home, that it's worse than lockdown. Everything's closed. Stay at home. So now they move from stay at home to lockdown. So it's still closed, you know, nothing working. Man, Toronto BJJ, open mat, action reaction, many other gyms, you know, like those ones, these guys, they need to be back. You know, they need to be back because they're the biggest in the community. They are the ones that move the tournaments. They are the one that, you know, make stuff happen. And we need them to be back. The community needs to have somebody already, you know, even though George Brito did a lot, like the OGA, our Ontario Jiu-Jitsu Association, tried to negotiate with the government and stuff, but nothing really happened. Nothing really happened. The government, you know, they'll do whatever they want, and they shut everything down. I understand that they are doing this because of lives, they're doing this because of COVID, but they got to start look out, man, to other ways of people getting better too. You know, it's not only the disease, but it's
you still have to pay rent too, right? As a business, like you have to pay the rent.
Everything around the city, it's like you go by driving, you see like leasing, selling, you know, people moving out.
Yeah.
anyways, it's a tough for everybody. In Brazil, it's going crazy. In Brazil, it's going crazy. Very different. Brazil is gonna be like really bad famous because like the spotlight is right now there. Everybody's watching because things are going crazy.
Yeah, it's really bad, I hear.
So traveling, it just makes life hard for everyone because we have athletes that they want to travel to US to do tournaments. We have people from US who wants to do tournaments there too, because Brazil, it's a really big spot for jiu-jitsu. And we need this to be free. Like, anyways, I hope as soon as possible we can finish with this and just be back doing whatever. This year I hope I can make to the Masters Wars at the end of the year. Let's see how it's gonna, they just open up for registration. Let's see how it's gonna
go.
I
saw that. Yeah, they're like, oh, we're gonna do it. We'll see. I think they will. I think it will happen.
Hopefully it's gonna be in Texas. It put out in Texas and make it happen.
Texas doesn't care. Texas, the other day, like, we're wide open, like no more corona. So
well, hopefully they will keep doing this and nothing happen. So
hopefully
keep going. But and have you been to any other gym there, like in San Diego?
Yeah. So there's.
Have you trained at the University of Jiu-Jitsu?
No, they I didn't go, but they closed down.
They closed down.
Yeah, the university closed. There's like 2 or 3 Hibero academies in San Diego, but the main one, the main university, they closed that gym down. And Shanji moved to Texas.
Yeah, Shanji moved. Yeah.
Yeah. But we at Legion, some of the Hibero guys came over to train at Legion a little bit, and I think they still have a school by the beach, but it's a small satellite school. The main one had to close, I think.
Jesus,
that's like one of the most famous gyms in America, and it's gone.
That's not a good good news for me, man, because it's sad. It's sad. Things are not going well.
No, I think some gyms, some of the smaller ones, I think didn't survive in San Diego, but it seems like a lot of them have. As far as ones I visited, I went to a place called P5, a little place, Ocean Beach Jiu-Jitsu, like tiny on the beach. They're still there. There's 3 10th planets, and they all survived. They're still going. Been to all those. Studio 540 went there.
Okay,
yeah, 540.
Cool. That's good.
Probably another one that I'm forgetting, but
no, that's hopefully everybody's gonna make out, man. We gotta just hang a little bit more, because training gotta keep going. And the tournaments, I'm sure more and more we see more tournaments going up in the US. I can't wait for more to start here too, and everybody be back. See the community, see the people that you like to see compete, do the things you like to do. But can't wait for that. And do you remember when I was talking about a competition? Do you remember how was your first experience with like competition?
Yeah, I remember there's a tournament by Seattle that happened, I think 3 or 4 times a year. It was like the local tournament, and it still goes on to this day, and it's big now. But yeah, I was just in a high school gym, and I think my first tournament, I didn't train in the gi yet. Like, I did my first year of jiu-jitsu, I didn't want to put on the gi.
Only no gi.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, I have a good reason, but I just was like, no, I'm not wearing that. But I went no gi. I think I got like 2nd place in in a beginner division. I was doing crazy stuff too. I wish I still had the videos, but like I was doing like those like rolling guillotines. Like, that was my move because I sucked at passing guard. So I would like struggle to pass, and then I would just try to do a flip and grab their head. And like I tried like 3 or 4 of those and didn't get any of them. I think I might have got tapped out, but I beat a guy. Me and another guy went, and we were so bad, and we like wrestled on the feet for the whole match, and we got super tired, and like at the end, like he fell down and I landed on top of him and I won. 2-0.
That was the 2 for the win.
Yeah, I wish I could. God, I would give anything to be able to watch some of my first
I know
tournaments.
exactly what you mean. I got some videos of my, first matches. Jesus Christ, man, wild,
Yeah. And your
wild.
coach is like telling you to do stuff and you're just out there like just doing whatever.
Nothing really work, and you can hear like, what the heck this guy's telling me to do. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, tournaments are great. Tournaments build you, like, you get tougher, you get mentally tough, you want to be there. Not every time you win, but you learn all the time. You learn, always learning.
Yeah.
When you're losing, looks like always something comes inside here and like, okay, oh, another piece. At
It
least
was
like that.
yeah, I think tournaments are really valuable, even for people who don't want to compete, like should just do a few, especially when you're newer at the lower belts, like do a few tournaments, like
Exactly.
the first one probably goes bad, like it did for me, but do like say that you'll do like 4 tournaments in 2 years or something and give it a chance because it is fun. Like you said,
Oh, yeah.
it builds you a lot, and it's enjoyable. Like even on the tournaments where I lost, I still, had a good
Oh,
time.
I'm sure, like, the ones that you lose will do give you some. The wins and the lose, for sure you're gonna get something. When you win, it's like the feeling's a lot better, right? For sure, it's like,
Oh yeah, you feel the man for like a month after
exactly.
that. Yeah.
When you lose, you just like, I believe when you realize how jiu-jitsu work and you really understand how to train and to get better in the things that you want, when you lose, you don't feel more that like, oh my God, I lost. No, you feel like, now I know what I have to get better at, right?
Yeah. You
And
always train harder when you come back, like after a loss, you like really motivated in the gym, like, and you really like pay a lot more attention to your training. Yeah. And like you fix your mistakes and yeah.
that's the what gives you that feeling of coming back and say, I want to get better at this. And only the tournament, I think it's only tournament that will give you this experience. You don't think
Yeah.
this way at training, do you? No, I
Mm-mm.
don't. You know,
No, I agree.
you're gonna be thinking, oh, I'm gonna get better. Of course, you always want to get better, but you're training with your friends, with your body. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you do like crazy shit, but you never think like, oh, I gotta get better at this. In the tournament, you realize that right away. The first you shake hand, ready, combat, you're gonna know what to do. Or if you don't know what to do, after that, you're gonna say, okay, now I gotta work on this. How many times?
Totally.
I'm sure how many times you've been at this place? Like,
That's always, yeah. I think there's another level to competition too. I mean, even when you slap hands with your friend and you're like, okay, we're really gonna go hard at practice, it's never as much as the tournament. There's like another level of intensity at the tournaments. You get tired faster and your nerves are higher. And yeah, just there's no substitute
oh
for
yeah,
competition.
it's a great feeling. Adrenaline comes and you're ready to go. Do it.
Yeah.
No coming back. You gotta top somebody or get topped. That's it. By talking about top, that's a good saying there. Top cancer out. That's pretty
Oh
good.
yeah, the charity tournament
Charity, right?
that they do in
Yes.
the US. Yeah.
I have a friend here from Toronto that she works with them. With her name is Shannon. She really goes to help the top cancer out. It's pretty good. A very good in charity, right? Like to support. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
So,
big. It gets bigger. The guy that runs it is like really smart and he's really like building like a big tournament series. I think he'll come back,
oh yeah, for
for the next years.
sure.
But yeah, those are really fun.
I'm sure this is something that not gonna end. It's a good cause and we will always work. Got to keep going with that. It's a great idea and great cause. But yeah, I mean,
Definitely.
have you done any of those tournaments?
Yeah, I did. I lived by New York City. I lived in Connecticut for like 8 months and they did a tournament there. And I did like a super fight.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I lost the decision. I felt like I won. I know everybody says that. You can go look up the match on YouTube. You tell me if you think I lost, but it was
Okay,
good.
I
It was
want to
really
see
close.
that. I want to
You
see
should,
that.
yeah. Me, guys, Chris Simmons or something. It was a cool match, cool no-gi match. But it was fun, and I liked it, and the announcers were cool, and they gave us like a really sweet package. I got like a backpack filled with all kinds of like shirts, and they gave me a gi that I still have, and a blender. We got a blender, and all kinds of cool stuff.
I remember. I think I have seen some stuff that they give out. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
Oh, I'm sure. It's I hope they keep going too, after this. I'm sure a lot of people still think what to do or not do, but I think they can go back and keep the charity going, helping out people. It's pretty good. It's an amazing initiative. So, but man, Scott, it was great, man, talking to you, like before we end, I just want you maybe to, if you can, of course, but just give out some words on, like we spoke a little bit on what jiu-jitsu gave to you, like in your life. And I just want you to share a little bit that for people to show the really good side of jiu-jitsu, like a guy like you that been traveling around training in many gyms around the world, I'm sure you met like a lot of people, like a lot of people. And this is a really good part of jiu-jitsu that a lot of people don't know, and if you can share this, for the last minutes of the podcast, if you can share this, it would be great.
Sure. I mean, jiu-jitsu has given me almost everything like that I have in my adult life. I started at 21, and it like pretty much shaped me into the person I am today. And it fills so many areas like of desire in your life. It gives you something to learn. They say like to be happy in your mind, you should get exercise, do things with friends, have something that you constantly learn and study, something that like keeps you humble, and something that makes you creative, and sometimes something that can make you a little bit of money. And if you think about it, or if I think about it, jiu-jitsu is one thing that gave me all of those things. There's people I know who don't train. Man, I wonder what they do to get those same fulfillments in their life. I could think, jiu-jitsu has made me like happier and more fulfilled in so many ways. And despite like some injuries and stuff and whatever little negative things, like it's completely outweighed by like the happiness that it gives me. I agree. I don't mind. I like going to work. I like waking up early. I like working hard. I like getting tired, being humble, realizing that there are people that can teach you things, and things you can teach other people. And then all that is constantly reinforced for me by jiu-jitsu. It's really completes my life. Everything is better because of jiu-jitsu.
Man, this is great to hear. I've been in the same place. I really agree with everything that you said. Jiu-jitsu completely changed my life. I believe jiu-jitsu completely changed your life, and it can change many other people's lives, right? Like 100%. There is no I don't think it's a bad choice to do that. It's a really good choice. And if you're waiting to go do your first class, whoever is listening to this, if you get to listen to the podcast through a friend or whatever, whoever's listening to this, I believe that if you really want to try jiu-jitsu, go there, try it, because I'm sure it will have, jiu-jitsu has a lot of things to bring to you, can really change your life too. Man, absolutely. Thank you very much one more time. I appreciate your time. Thank you for contacting. I hope we can, always be talking. We can definitely, be down for another episode. If you want to bring some news, you have some good thing to share. Let's keep in touch, man. And absolutely keep training. Whenever you decide to come to Toronto again to, this area, let me know. And I'm sure when I go down to San Diego, whatever, if you're there, we're gonna, train or do something, man. It was great talking to you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for what you're doing for jiu-jitsu. Your podcast works to spread the art, so I appreciate that.
Exactly. That's the main goal, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.